Glad to have you here. There's one thing that life has taught me. Some people just want to remain the way they are. Not everyone wants to grow. So no matter what you do in life, please grow up so that you can change from whatever zone that you find yourself. How are you all doing this morning, and how was your weekend? Of course, I am happy to have you here in our midst. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Thank you for joining us always. And of course, we must say something. Thank you for your feedbacks. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your love, for your likes. Yeah. We see all of that, and it gets to us, and we're getting better every blessed day. My name is Oluwa Olabi, and of course, this is WhatsApp. Do not forget, you're still on. Be my guest on Galaxy TV, but this is your favorite segment, and it's called WhatsApp. I'm not always alone on the show, of course you know that. I am here with my black diamond. Peace.
Change is constant.
Peace, yes. Some people just want to remain the same. They just want to be the same forever. I don't know why.
It's pathetic.
It's very pathetic.
Talking about that, I like your heart. Alpha.
Let me take myself off.
So you've been doing shopping, right? You've been doing shopping.
I told you now.
Hey!
I told you.
So
I told you.
You just left me where I am.
You know, how was the match over the weekend?
Man, you lost.
Oh, I almost called you anyways. Like,
man, you lost.
I wanted to say, sorry, darling.
Anyways, this is not about football, okay? This is about WhatsApp. And we're always smiling. We're always eager to welcome you to the show, no matter what. No matter the challenges, no matter the victories. But one thing you should bear in mind is that it can always and always get better. And as always, my name is Maxine Edoa.
Maxine,
welcome.
It can always get better. Don't worry, man, you should try again next time. You know.
Okay.
Thank you to everyone that's been part of the show, from our producers to the camera people to the audio to the sound guys. You know, you guys made it possible.
Big time.
So today is going to be another exciting episode because we have our guests all over from America.
Obodo Ibo. We do it home and abroad.
You know.
Is there anybody that can do it like us?
You know.
Oh,
if you're not watching us, then you're making a lot of mistakes. You get. So stick around, and the show will be right back. Hey, welcome back, and this is still WhatsApp on Galaxy TV, and of course this is the time that we get to introduce to you our guest for this morning. Like we told you earlier on, that we did not bring our fish from Nigeria
at all.
We went all the way.
Our very own, making us proud over there.
Right.
That's right.
That's right. Okay, so we're talking, the guest that we have for you today is a Yoruba cultural ambassador, is a filmmaker, a cultural historian, broadcaster, is a producer, a voiceover artist. The voiceover artist part is my favorite because when this person is sound behind the mic,
that's the baritone.
There is something about it.
That baritone voice.
Yes, there's something about it.
I knew there was something that always catches me in that particular series. Anytime I'm ready to watch it, it's the voice for me, and I'm like, and I know it was this little that would do. Like,
who is this person?
Who is this person?
The person is here. We're talking about Dotun. Boss, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. How you doing? Yeah, it's beautiful to talk to you.
Good to see you. Good to have you.
Good morning, sir.
Beautiful to talk to you. Yeah, it's nice to see your face. Good morning.
What's happening? This is your hair now, swaggo. What's the apple? What's popping?
You haven't changed. You haven't changed.
Well, anyway, change is constant. I heard when you were talking about that, but change has to be in style.
Okay.
So you maybe I still remain within the style of life.
So don't tell us, how are you doing over there? How are you doing over there? Are you in America or are you in UK?
I'm in the United States. I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you very clearly. Can you hear me clearly?
No, I can hear you now. Did you answer the previous question? Yes. Are you in America or
UK?
Where?
No, I said I am in America. I'm in Los Angeles, United States of America.
Okay. Okay, so Dr. Meet my co-presenter. Her name is Maxine. Max.
Finally, I get to talk to you. Finally.
I looked at both of you And I see that there seems to be a bit of resemblance.
There's
Maybe
what?
that's the way I see it. There's a bit of resemblance between both of you. Maybe that's the way I
Oh,
see it.
really? That's what happens when there's like minds. You know, there's something about the field. If you're with your like mind, things go smoothly, doesn't it?
That's beautiful. Anyway, it's about it's about 2 a.m. in the morning in Los Angeles, so about 8 hours difference. So I'm sorry if I look a bit sleepy.
It's all good.
Okay, so I know Dotun Taylor to be a very hardworking person. Of course, we've worked together. And during those periods, yes, I can say that yes, Dotun Taylor is fantastic. When you say fantastic, so I'm going to be asking some questions. Not that I don't know them, but for your lovers and all that. Let's talk about you as a voiceover artist. You know, there's something that we spoke about. Your voice is different. Your voice is unique. There's something about it when you hear something, when you hear his voice, you want to look back and say, okay,
who is that?
Who is that? Who? At what point did you discover that you carry such a potential?
Okay. I didn't discover. I developed it. So this is what happened. I watched the film Coming to America in 1985, and I encountered the character of a man called James L. Jones, who played Eddie Murphy's father. You know, so as a child, my father was working with NTA, the television. So I already had an understanding of what voiceovers are. So when I watched James L. Jones and he did the character, I am King Jaffa Jaffa, ruler of Zamunda. I am looking for my son again. As a child, I told myself that when I grow up, I want to be a voiceover artist and I want to sound like James L. Jones. So I think growing up, I started to muff and create myself into a style of speech and a style that I sound like. Although I would say that it also has to do with genetics and the way they sound in your family, because of course my dad is also a broadcaster. So all my life I'd always known I wanted to do voiceovers. I wanted to use my voice to work. So I paid attention to the way I sound. But I would say specifically that when I became 16, my voice started to break. It broke so much that I went to school and came back and my mother asked me to pray, to do the grace. So the moment I went, the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God. When I finished, my mother said, "Is that you talking? You sound so different now." So I think I identified my voice when I became between the age of 15 and 16, thereabout.
Wow. But listening to you saying that that was when you made up your mind that you were going to become a voiceover artist. I went through an interview of yours some time ago, and it said you somehow wanted to quit being a voiceover artist. Why? I don't know, based on what I saw in the article, but did you really quit it?
Yes. Right now, I don't do voiceovers anymore. There's everything that has a beginning must have an end. You know, that's the way I see it. So at the moment I was moving on to the next calling, my next calling in life, I knew that I wouldn't have enough time to go to the studios and record voices anymore. So I stopped professional voiceover, and that's been like 4 or 5 years right about now, and I just don't think that I could do the two things I'm doing at the same time together. So I granted the interview that I quit voiceovers, and truly, yes, I have stopped doing voiceovers. A lot of my clients have approached me after that time, And I gladly suggest other people that sound like me and that can do it, who live in Nigeria. So that's it. I just feel like I don't want to do voiceovers anymore. And I wanted to do other
Continuous,
things.
based on what she asked you.
Yeah.
You said why? Because there's something about your voice, and you said you wanted to grow up and tell your kids that you are a voiceover artist.
Yeah.
For me, I feel that
Yeah,
being a voiceover artist is just you standing behind the mic
Yes,
with your script, and then you just voice
yes.
it. You just talk about it. I don't feel like it's anything challenging to me. So my question is, what exactly happened? Was it clients? Was it a challenge that you faced? Did you lose your call or something? What made you say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore? Or you have a lot of money and you feel like, you know what,
Let me just let it
I
be.
think voiceover money is too small for me.
Okay, to be truthful, most of the clients that reach out to me from Nigeria cannot pay me. But that's one of the reasons I stopped. I moved to the United States to do other things, and so most of the times when my clients reach out and they want me to do voiceovers, I look at the offering, what they are offering to pay me. I compare it to what I earn and what I would rather want to earn and what I'm doing at the moment. If I have to leave something and go to the studio to record, I would compare what I'm leaving to what I'm getting while I go to record. So yes, that is one of it. Then the other part of it is that whatever I do, I always and must be convinced and must like it. So I realized that I was doing voices probably for products that I don't believe in. So I have to believe in the product. So I just thought, since I'm not available in the country anymore to be able to identify which products, so there's no point putting my voice around products that I do not understand or really do know anything about. So I just thought the best thing is to quit and let other people do.
For something you believe in, and you figured out that you wanted to actually do what you believe in. Let's talk about your next calling. When you went to your next calling, the abilities and the responsibilities that had to come with it. How about that? Let's talk about that.
All right, I have always been one to believe in culture. Are we still here? Yeah. I've always been one to believe in the Yoruba culture, which is my culture. And I happen to be a historian. I studied history from the University of Ilorin. So I always say to people that, first of all, I'm a historian. You only find me around filmmaking because I have a story to tell in history. And if I am not able to do that with the cameras, I probably would just choose the microphone and go on radio and narrate my stories. So I think I stumbled into voiceover in Nigeria early because I was trying to make a film. And I met with broadcasters who thought, oh, you have a great voice, you should go on radio, you should talk. So, of course, I do have radio programs. And it doesn't mean that I am not going to still do radio or present television shows. But I officially quit the voiceover I was doing in Nigeria. But now, the culture thing, I'm very committed because it's my culture. It comes naturally. And I was made an ambassador by the Oni of Ife. And ambassadors technically operate from without, not from within. You have to represent a culture amongst other people. So I am really committed into what I'm doing right now. I find it coming very easy because it's a calling, and a calling would always come with the spiritual energy to simplify your work. If you're within a particular profession and you're finding it very difficult, then it probably is not your calling, So since I find this to be my calling, it comes easy. And part of the things I do is reconnecting Afro-Americans with the Yoruba culture. Which have always been the things I have been attracted to, So basically right now what I do is I seek people of African descent in the diaspora be it the United States or anywhere in the Americas, be it Brazil, Venezuela, Cuba, and bring them to Nigeria. Probably it is this is very important right now because there is this new wave of scientific understanding where you could check your DNA and know exactly where you come from, where your ancestors come from. So it is becoming more and more easy for Afro-Americans to want to seek their roots because they could tell scientifically that, oh, my people are from amongst the Yorubas, or they are from amongst the Ngas people of Ghana, you know. So I'm so excited about this right now that I just probably don't want to do anything else. But be sure that I'm still making films. I live in Hollywood. So what we do in Hollywood is filmmaking. So film is always a tool for me to use at all times to tell my stories and communicate and educate the world.
Okay, let's talk about the connection between you and Oni of Ife. You know, being the ambassador of Yoruba culture, and of course we know how big, you know, Oni Ife is. You're talking about culture and then tradition. How did that start for you? What was the connection like? Was it that you had to go and meet him to tell him what you carry, or he saw it from you and said, you know what, come, let's do this together? How was the journey like for you?
First of all, at this point, I must say a big thank you to everybody that's contributed into my career. Of course, even Galaxy TV is where I started my broadcasting career in the year 2000, thereabout. You know, so I would say this quickly to answer your question, that whatever that comes to you easy might just be your calling and what you should do. So how did I meet the Oni of Ife? He found me out by all the things I've been doing. From the days I have worked at Galaxy TV, I used to present a program called Be My Guest. And a lot of other programs. And from moving from Galaxy TV, I was doing radio programs with Ray Power and other stations. I did a couple of voiceovers for artists. So these things move around a lot and people hear it and they know who you are. Even if they don't see you, they're able to identify the persons behind the art. And the Oni of Ife happens to be the son of a television person too. His father worked with the BCOS in Ibadan. So he had an understanding of the kind of sound he wanted, the kind of representation he wanted. So when he became the king, when he became the Oni, he didn't know my name, but he knew my voice and he knew some of the things I have done before. So he specifically told some of his producers he wanted to do some documentaries about Orishas in the Yoruba land, and he needed a narrator. So he kept describing the voice of this person who has been doing some voiceovers. And so he specifically told the producer to go look for me, you know. So, and they found me and I started recording voices for him. And all his documentaries, he would say, oh, that's the voice I wanted. So as I was recording, there was a point I needed to interview him. We met and we spoke, and he said to me specifically that, okay, I'd known